and is now a TV journalist working in London. And I'm so proud that you made it tonight, Osama, with your lovely family, your boys and your wife. And I'd like to hand over the mic to you, if I may.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be here with you in Ipswich again after a while, maybe 3-4 years in London. Before I start, June 2018, 6 years ago, was my first visit to Ipswich, where the kindly Home Office put me in a limbo here, alone in a dirty limbo, to be honest. I was desperate, sad, worried, concerned, and I had one dream, to be with my family, with my wife and with my 2 boys, like many asylum seekers, like many refugees around the world and in this country. And before I start my speech, if you look at this young man recording me, and if you look all to my right, along there with this tree, there is another young man, he's taller. You can see my boy and my wife, and here is my second boy, so I'm here again with my family. And if you can see this Ipswich Star front page, in April 2nd, 2019, they kindly put me in the front page. Wow, what a picture. And quote me saying, Ipswich made me feel welcome. And here we go, in 2024, I'm here again in Ipswich, and Ipswich again made me feel welcome. So thank you very much. And if I want to thank someone, or somebody, or an organization, I think maybe the word thank you is not enough for Suffolk Refugee Support. When I first met with Martin Simmons, and Judy, and Rebecca, and all other colleagues in SRS, and they introduced me to BBC Suffolk Radio to volunteer with them. They made my life easier. They built my self-confidence. They told me, you can do what you have done in Turkey and what you have done in Egypt, and you can build your career again here. And here we go, we are with you. We are supporting you until you got your refugee status. And they did. And I know they did this from 25 years, and they're still doing this for many, many refugee and asylum seekers. So happy anniversary for Suffolk Refugee Support, and thank you very much for your kindness and your support to me and to many refugees in this country. And before I proceed, I must take a moment to applaud the Ipswich Town Football Club. Congratulations, you did it. You're promoted to the Premier League. This is a great achievement. I will support you. I'm a Liverpool fan because of Mohamed Salah, but you have Sam Morsi, who's another Egyptian. So I'm now supporting Ipswich Town and supporting Liverpool as well. I know the first game in the Premier League will be here in Ipswich Town. So who knows, perhaps we will see you in one of the European competition next season. I hope so. So good luck in the Premier League. To be honest, when my friend Martin Simmons asked me whether I want to speak at this great event, I said yes without any doubt. Because it would be a good opportunity to recall your support for me when I was desperate, worried, and I'm concerned asylum seeker spending his whole day between the crown pools in the gym, swimming to get the negative energy out, and train station, visiting my friends in London, and then in St. Helens Street, in the limbo that Home Office put me in, waiting every morning to the post office man to bring me a letter or a good news from the Home Office, which led until 14 months, until May 2019. During my 14 months in Ipswich Town, I learned a lot of things. Firstly, and this is a quite important point these days, to support refugees and asylum seekers, despite your religion, your ethnicity, your color, your nationality, you just need to be a human. It's simple as it is. Just be a human to support a refugee or an asylum seeker. Secondly, as I said, happy anniversary for SRS, but I believe organizations like Suffolk Refugee Support should be praised and support from all of us in this country to maximize their efforts to make life easier for refugees and asylum seekers. Thirdly, and this is another interesting point, refugees are not the problem in this country, believe me. Refugees didn't make the price soar in the recent years. They didn't cause inflation to increase. They didn't make NHS low salaries. Refugees are not your enemies. The fact, the reality is, the government and its pathetic policies and its shameful support of authoritarian leaders in the Middle East, here and there, this is the problem in this country. And you all know I'm a refugee and I'm proud. Originally from Egypt and based now in London. And this government and some political parties, they are not stopped on the Rwanda bill or deporting refugee or asylum seekers or labeling them as crisis in this country. No. They start exporting their racism against refugee and asylum seekers to the authoritarian leaders in the Middle East who made these refugees. For example, I'm from Egypt, as I said, and in our country, we have an authoritarian leader and general intelligence own and control the national media, and they start a campaign against Syrian and Sudanese refugees in Egypt. And they called for deportation of all refugees from Egypt. And when we debated them on this inhumane campaign, they said, look at Britain, the country of democracy, the country of human rights, they are deporting refugees to Rwanda. They have Rwanda bill. So congratulations to this country, congratulations to the government, congratulations to political parties. You are exporting this narrative to other authoritarian leaders. In the last 8 months, as a journalist, I have been covering horrific incidents and ongoing genocide in Gaza and Palestine. I have lost friends in Gaza, and many colleagues and journalists I know personally have been targeted and arrested. And regarding the refugees, now, while I'm speaking, there is 1.7 million Palestinians in Gaza, specifically in Rafah, a very small town like Ipswich. They are stuck there and they probably be a possible refugees. They can make their way to Europe. They can make their way to this country. They can make their way to the United Kingdom. The British government, the political parties, they failed to vote for a ceasefire to stop this war. And if this happened, if we welcomed Palestinian refugees in the upcoming months, the same government and the same political parties will lecture us about the refugee crisis. And we need to deport these people to Rwanda again. So my final message, and it is not political at all, and this speech is not about politics, it's about me, it's about people like me, it's about refugees and asylum seekers. My final message to you, to the people of Ipswich, the kind people who used to support refugees, you have a great opportunity on July the 4th. However the candidate is, just please vote for any candidate who supports refugees. Vote for any candidate who stands for humanity. Vote for any candidate who calls for a ceasefire. One more time, thank you very much for the kind invitation and happy anniversary for Suffolk Refugee Support.